stop using AI. We've all heard it before, but AI is sort of making us dumber. And it's been said a million times. Everyone's said why it makes you dumb. You should stop depending on it because you're not actually like exercising your brain. And it's true. I mean, if you look at this example right here, we've got these are fake people, by the way. Sarah Mitchell responding to James, "Hey James, what's the priority?" And then Sarah's like, "Yeah, probably getting the team to take more ownership. If I'm honest, got good people, but everything still ends, blah blah blah." Sounds like Sarah. And then you come to James Turner. Is it really James Turner? We don't know, because he's like, absolutely. And it sounds like you've already identified the core issue. Up until now, AI is still kind of being used a lot for certain tasks like this, such as writing code outreach. And AI will always put out the supposed most optimal output. And so everyone's output will look like this. And this is why it always looks AI written, because it will always generally put out something like this, with the M dashes, with the quick question, with everything. And so that's a great case of when to not use AI. And so we'll get into the video. Stop over automating and stop depending on AI too much. Let's get straight into it. What is the last 10%? Now, I don't know, a lot of people should be familiar with this by now. AI gets you there a lot faster than if you did it by yourself, usually. If you set it up right, yes, it will. Generally does. And at scale, it is a killer. It does a lot of work for you, a lot faster sometimes, actually a lot of the time, than if you were to do it yourself or had someone doing it for you. And so that's the beauty of it. But the whole point is it's faster, but it's not always better. You've got the first 10%, all right? This is the first 10% you've got. It's your first 10%. When you write the prompt, you got the source file set up. Hopefully you've already set it up beforehand. That's your first 10%. You set it off. A good prompt will get AI all the way up to here. AI will do that. And the last part is just your judgment. Is this actually good? Or are there better options? Or of the options it's provided me, which one's the best? Or what it's produced, okay, time for me to do some manual editing because I know what looks good. And generally speaking, AI struggles to get what I really want all the time, but it gets close to there, and that's good. Getting close is faster than getting nowhere or trying to get to 100% and completely missing the mark. All right, so here we're back at this Sarah and James. I mean, this is a great example of a AI written email. And I'll literally show you where I got it from. You just say, right here, boom. And it even says why this works. Because technically, it's supposed to work, right? Because AI is trained off of patterns. It's trained off of the generally most optimal methods, the most optimal, reasonable. There's always justification behind it. It never makes a decision off of gut feeling. And we'll get to that later. And so when it always makes the optimal decision, sometimes going the suboptimal or unorthodox route is honestly the best way to go, or at least has more leverage now more than ever. So how I currently use AI, when I do, let's say I do cold outreach, for example, I would get AI to draft the messages. And when I draft it, either I've written the copy myself beforehand, or I just get it to draft like a rough outline and structure of it, and like with the angle and everything, the offer all set up, put it all in there. But then I'm just gonna rewrite most of it because I'm gonna change up the tone, the language. I've already, removed some things, swapped things out, and make it actually sound like I wrote it, because I kind of did write it. I just used an AI to get me there a lot faster than if I had to think of, okay, I need to get the offer, I need to set this up. No, I just get AI to get me there, and then I just edit. And it sounds like me. I use my own judgment. I remove some parts that I thought, nah, that doesn't sound good. And that judgment is the real leverage. Moving on to like where AI should and shouldn't be used. We'll start with a great case of where it should be used. Now, a great example of where AI can be used really effectively is responding to prospects, which is a bit of contradiction of what I said earlier of, oh, you shouldn't let it respond to your cold outreach or whatnot. I mean, that's reasonable, but this is like a second layer to it. And sometimes, like when it's executed badly, you've lost it. You've lost the plot. But when it's executed well, it can actually be very effective. And how it would be done is through a RAG agent. So RAG meaning retrieval augmented generation. So it will actually retrieve your data, and from the data, it will find the rules, the guidelines for everything, and it'll be relevant to what was actually asked. Now, generally, why this can work is because it's a RAG, and so it has actual rules and relevant files to go off of. It's sort of not. It generally doesn't assume things because it has all the information it needs. But this is where AI still falls short, because those are the calls it can make when it has all the logic, all the rules, everything set up, all within the database. But when it doesn't really have a database, or when even the database exists and it's still missing that one factor, the one factor that it cannot provide, which is human taste. So when you do recruiting, can an AI sufficiently say, Jim and Matt, they really gelled well together. They've worked with each other before, and actually, they don't hate each other because they actually got along when they worked. No, it can't. It doesn't know that Jim and Matt have been enemies, I don't know, because Matt was like slandering Jim's name, and Jim forever hates Matt for the rest of his life. It doesn't know that. It doesn't understand culture and chemistry nearly as well as a human. Now, I'm just going to give you an example of where AI still prevails and where it's still really damn good. A great example is ideation. Now, this kind of leads me to the end. Where should you use AI? Like I said, AI gets you to 90% or 80% a lot faster than if you did it yourself. And so what is the work that gets you to that? What is the work where AI can reliably get you to 90% and leave the remaining 10% to you? Obviously, there is work that AI you can reliably do 100%. It's very simple work, but we'll skip that. That's kind of very obvious. We want to go for the 90%. This is where the human leverage really should be used. This is where the human leverage should be used like in combination with the efficiency of AI. So a great example, ideation. Here I said, produce a list of 10 SaaS product ideas ranging from most unorthodox and niche to most conservative. And so here is our very novel decision twin. What is a decision twin? I don't know. Instead of automating tasks, it learns how one person makes decisions, which applicants you reject, which deals you pursue, which suppliers you choose. Okay. And so instead of asking, what should I do? And then it predicts, this is probably what you would do. Okay, that's a terrible idea, which is great because all you have to do is use your brain and think, oh, that's terrible. This option is terrible. Maybe this is good. This is bad. The whole point is you use your brain to actually weed out the really bad options that are very obviously bad and pick the occasional good options that actually come through. So that's one of the best cases. Using AI to give you options instead of deciding for you and justifying each option, just like here. Here are some justifications as to why this option might be plausible. Instead of coming up with the ideas yourself, you let AI do it. And a lot of them, it's not just placebo, a lot of them might be ideas that you would have came up with on your own, just a lot slower. And again, the other example I gave you is when you have more knowledge or that human taste AI doesn't, and AI can reliably get you to 90%. So if that provided any sort of insight to you guys, or if that was completely just rubbish and zero insight, you learned absolutely nothing from it, let me know in the comments, and then I would love to know where I can improve. That's it from me. Subscribe for more if you want to see more content on AI, automations, NAN, the whole shebang.